we're talking about Italiese, which is the hybrid that was created by Italian immigrants. It's English words that have an Italian phonology around them, because they all represent an idea or an item or an object that wasn't part of the reality when they left Italy. So they needed to incorporate it because Italians came here and needed to be domesticated. So they dealt with homes that looked different from where they came from, objects in a home, appliances, and then people went out into the workforce. And so the Italiese reflects the city that they're in and the workforce that they belong to. So when we speak of Sudbury, what's specific to us would be the mining industry, the forestry industry, the railway industry. So that language is very specific to our area, but then common to all areas where Italians went would be the home, where you have appliances and things like that. So in a kitchen you would have a friggio for fridge, una stufa for a stove, because people wouldn't have had those things in Italy. Or a dishwasher, because people still don't have. A lot of people have them, but they're not standard all over Italy. A microwave. Then you get into the construction industry because we build things differently here in Canada. So people would go up on a scafolo and they use the drywall and they use the cacibesa and they make the cemento and they build a bungalow and they build a two-story and they build a side splitti. Anything that had to do with a semantic field that Italians were involved in, they created language for it if they didn't already have it. So the main contribution for Sudbury would be the mining industry. So they talk about going down the mina within the cage, and they go to the dry, which is the dry area where they get ready to go to work. And anything that has to do with mining would have been new. So Italians use the word oro for gold, but they mine goldo. So they make a distinction between what they wear and what they produce. And Sudbury is nickel, then there's silvere for silver mines, but they wear argento, which is the proper word for silver, but they mine silvere. So they've even made that distinction. Let's not even worry about things like when you go into the railway industry and you have the tracca del treno, the train tracks, things like that, and the bundles, bundoli for when they're chopping up their woods to create the bundles to put down and lay the tracks. So any word that was an industry that is typical to Canada, but they didn't experience there, Italiese will be there.
How are you keeping this language alive?
It started with a course that I started teaching at Laurentian on the Italian community of Sudbury as part of our minor in diaspora studies. But it's developed into wanting to document this language that is a language of transition. Once it was created by mostly post-Second World War immigrants who are now in their 70s and 80s. And they will have transmitted it to their kids because I'm one of those kids. But I use it because I'm the bridge for my mom when she has to go out into the community because her English is very broken. But my kids don't use it. And their kids won't use it. They speak standard English, they speak standard French, they speak standard Italian. So they don't need it. They understand it but don't need it. So once this generation is passed, at the very most I will use it for fun, but it's not something I would pass on. So if we don't document it, it's almost like as if the Italians weren't here.